Welcome, everyone, to the March 2026 TDL Forum. My name is Christy Park, and I am the Executive Director of the Texas Digital Library. As we're gathering in this shared virtual space, we'll start, as we often do, by acknowledging the physical places from which we're each joining, all of them located on the indigenous land of Turtle Island, the ancestral name for what is now called North America. I'm joining from Austin, where the Tonkawa were among the traditional stewards of the land before their removal. And I invite you to share your own land acknowledgments in chat if you would like to. We'll follow our usual agenda today. I'm joined by Deputy Director Courtney Muma and Outreach Coordinator Kira Hunt in providing some updates. And we have several other TDL staff here as well in attendance. And big thank you to Megan Hernandez, our admin associate, for managing our slides. Okay, first off, I'm really pleased to share that Lamar University has joined the consortium as our newest regular member of the TDL consortium. Lamar is based in Beaumont, and as part of their membership, they are going to use a comprehensive suite of TDL's hosted services to enhance their digital scholarship capabilities. They're going to have a new DSpace repository and Vireo instance. They'll be using our journal publishing and journal hosting services, digital preservation services, the TDR, and DPLA metadata aggregation. We are so excited to be working with the team at Lamar. Dr. Vivian McClendon, who is the Dean of the Marion John Gray Library there, will represent Lamar on our TDL member board. And we're just full steam ahead getting the team there onboarded to these services. And I know that some of you have met, uh, gotten engaged with some of these folks in our user group meetings already, and we're really excited to have them as part of our community. I had the privilege of visiting Lamar a couple weeks ago, um, which is where that photo was taken, and getting to tour their gorgeous newly renovated library there. So that was pretty fun. Okay, also a reminder that Courtney and I will once again be holding office hours today directly after the forum. So we'll conclude the forum as normal. And if you would like to stick around after that, you are welcome to do so. If there's something you'd like to discuss with us or you just want to hang out for a few minutes and chit chat, we hope you'll join us for that. This is something we're trying out just for a 3-month period starting last month to provide an informal opportunity for discussion. And we're going to assess it and see how it goes and whether we'll continue. So that will be right after the forum today. So with that, we'll move into our services updates. I'll start with digital repository hosting. And a little bit of an update from the repository content accessibility working group. Um, this group has been meeting for several months now and is, as of 2 weeks ago, I guess, inviting folks who use DSpace to complete a survey on repository accessibility practice. The survey is collecting information about accessibility practices and policies within the TDL DSpace user community in order to better understand how institutions are approaching accessibility for materials hosted in DSpace repositories and to help guide the development of future resources. You need to complete the survey by March 23rd, and it is open to all institutions within the TDL community that host content in DSpace, whether that repository is hosted by TDL or self-hosted or hosted elsewhere. We are asking for one representative per institution to fill out the survey. Additionally, the working group has published a repository accessibility toolkit available in the TDL Wiki intended to support library staff, leadership, faculty, and other users of DSpace at state-funded institutions in meeting requirements set by the 2024 update by the U.S. Department of Justice to regulations for Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act. It includes guidance on web accessibility laws and standards, definitions and best practices for designing accessible documents in various formats, and talking points for advocacy with library administration and others. So we hope you'll check that out. And we're going to be building onto that in future iterations. Big thank you, though, to this working group and its members for reaching these milestones. And I'll just name them really briefly. Mark Baggett, Mary Kay Coons, John Crosno, Emily Hayward, Beth Hedrick, Susan Hoover, Tom Lyons, Elliot Williams, and Zhao Zheng. In other DSpace news, Nick Woodward, our senior software engineer and DSpace tech lead, is hard at work preparing for upgrades to DSpace version 9. This is all prep work at this point. Upgrades will take place after TCDL. So we will keep you updated as we progress through our monthly DSpace user group meetings. Okay, next up, a reminder that our OJS users group continues its discussion series on open access in practice at its next monthly meeting on April 2nd. The April discussion topic will be working together to strengthen journal support, sharing insights and resources. So we invite you to join us, come share your experiences supporting journal teams as they implement open access practices, as well as any resources you or your institution have developed. Topics might include defining open access, encouraging transparent editorial practices and policies, and promoting adherence to recognized publishing standards and guidelines. So excited about that. These have been really good discussions, and I encourage you, if you're doing journal hosting or journal publishing through your library, to join us and participate in these conversations. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Courtney for for some DPLA updates.
Hey, everybody. So yeah, I'll start with DPLA Text Hub. Um, so I can publicly announce now that the Cleveland Public Library and the Public Library of America have announced their partnership to chart a new vision for the National Digital Collection held by DPLA. Cleveland will be the new home for the Harvesting Network. Other than that, not a lot of details, but I wanted to make sure to share that information. We've also got a link to the announcement from the DPLA website that we'll share in chat. Next up, updates on Vireo. At the last virtual Vireo user group meeting earlier this year, a member suggested that we revisit and review the Texas Digital Library's descriptive metadata guidelines for electronic theses and dissertations, which we've linked in chat. Back in 2015, the Texas Digital Library ETD Metadata Working Group, which is now defunct, updated the original 2008 guidelines to support the consistent production and publication of metadata for electronic theses and dissertations. Their work was intended to inform Vireo development by the Texas Digital Library and its contributors. 4 volunteers have assembled a descriptive metadata guidelines for ETD's task force from the Vireo users group community to assess and update the guidelines. If you are interested in being part of this effort, it's not too late. The first meeting will be April 14th. So if you would like to be a part of this work, please reach out to me, the Vireo user group listserv, or to any of the Vireo steering committee members before that first meeting. Next up, the Web Archiving Interest Group is hosting an open chat on March 25th from 2 to 3 p.m. This is an informal opportunity to come chat about anything related to web archiving, from developing a new web archiving program to current projects and across tools, techniques, workflows, preservation, and more. We've shared a link to the information about the session in chat. Additionally, we've shared the wiki page about the group itself and its listserv. There's also a Slack channel available in the TDL community Slack that you can join. Next up, Lyrasis has publicly announced its branding for the new configuration of DuraCloud as DuraCloud Preserve. TDL intends to engage with Lyrasis staff as they transition out of DuraCloud to the new configuration. And then we'll work on a TDL timeline to transition our own users as well, so that our digital preservation services members who wish to preserve content in Amazon S3 and Glacier, mitigated by a preservation front end, can continue to do so. A major new feature of the new system is that it is capable of more frequent fixity checks. Lyrasis has documented the differences between DuraCloud and DuraCloud Preserve, which we've also shared in a link in chat. And finally, the Digital Preservation Services Transformation Task Force has delivered its recommendations for the entire digital preservation service to the TDL Governing Board. And TDL will update the rest of the community about the comprehensive new approach to digital preservation upon their approval. We're excited about it. Next up, several Texas Data Repository Steering Committee members will attend and present their research data work at the Dataverse Community Meeting in Barcelona this May. Sadly, not me, but we'll be well represented there. Also, as reported in the last forum, TDR upgrades are underway and expected to be completed by early April. So I'll be sending out an announcement soon to test in the training instance if you're a Texas Data Repository member. And with that, I'll hand it over to Kiara for her community updates.
Thanks, Courtney. Okay, first up, we are gearing up for TCDL 2026 in Austin. Once again, it's happening June 2nd through 4th at the Commons Conference Center. Registration is officially open, and you'll want to secure those early bird rates by May 8th. For our members, that rate is $310, and for non-members, it's $415. After May 8th, those will go up to $355 and $455 respectively. We also want to ensure the conference is accessible to our students, so we have a flat rate student rate of $100. And beyond that, there are a few ways to attend for free. We're offering 5 student scholarships. Those applications are due April 12th and include a conference buddy mentor. We are also looking for volunteers. If you can give us 4 hours of your service, your registration is on us. You can sign up for volunteering by April 26th. And finally, for those traveling, we have hotel blocks at the Hampton Inn and Fairfield Inn starting at $119. And we'll include all those links in the chat for this information. Next, on behalf of the TCDL Short Papers Task Force, we're looking for volunteers to help peer review submissions for the 2026 conference. As you may know, we're offering a short paper option this year to give presenters a chance to share more data and context beyond their slides. These papers will eventually live in the TDL Digital Repository. We're looking for reviewers from all backgrounds, whether you're an expert in digital preservation, OER, or scholarly comms. If you've never reviewed before, don't worry, we'll welcome first-time reviewers and provide clear guidelines to help you through this process. We're in beta process this year, so that's like our big slogan for the short papers. The commitment is light. You will be assigned 1 to 3 papers with a 3-week period to review them in the OJS platform. Plus, you'll get a digital certificate for your service. If you are interested in volunteering for the short papers reviewers, you can fill out the interest form by April 17th, and we'll drop that link in chat. Next, let's talk about the experience itself at TCDL. So our theme this year is finding joy, playful innovation, and community in action. We really want everyone to lean into that spirit. So in collaboration with planning committee member Syed Abdullah Shah Rakni, and Syed, if you're in the audience, forgive me for mispronouncing your name. We developed a short-paced treasure hunt game, and you can find joy stops throughout the venue where you can connect with colleagues, and you will be able to win a small prize once you complete the treasure hunt. Regarding our tradition of giving back, we do have an important update for this year's book drive. So due to a recent Texas Department of Criminal Justice policy change, which goes into effect on April 1st, the Inside Books Project can no longer accept used books of any kind. To ensure your donations do reach those inside, please only bring books in new or softcover condition. We do have more information about that. That was published in the Houston Chronicle article, and we've linked that article in chat and also have an update on our website. But beyond the no requirement, monetary donations are also a great way to support the project's mission of providing reading materials to incarcerated Texans. So we've included that link in chat as well. As for our local resources, the Commons Conference Center is perfectly situated just minutes from the domain area, which is where the conference takes place. You will have easy access to great food, like from Flower Child, which is one of my favorite restaurants in town, True Food Kitchen, and there are many places to get essentials like HEB or Target if you forget anything when you're packing for the conference. For transportation, we recommend CAP Metro or coordinating a carpool through our dedicated TCDL 2026 Slack channel. And most importantly, stay tuned. We'll be announcing the full program schedule very soon. And we have all those links in chat so you can take a look at what's going to be happening at TCDL. And we can actually move to the next slide because Courtney has already announced that the Web Archiving Texas Interest Group has a open chat coming up soon. So in interest of time, we can move on. Okay, so I do want to share an invitation on behalf of Billy Peterson Lugo at Baylor University Libraries. On Tuesday, May 31st at noon, the Baylor University Libraries Author Series will feature a fascinating conversation about the social implications of AI and the metaverse. The session focuses on the 2025 book, Society Without People, with co-authors Dr. Christopher Piper from Baylor and Dr. Justin Nelson from Campbell University. They will be in conversation with Dr. Elizabeth Rain Kincaid, who brings expertise in faith, ethics, and business. You can attend this event in person at the Moody Memorial Library on Baylor's campus, which will be followed by a book signing and reception, or you can join virtually via Zoom. This event is free and open to everyone, and we'll share the registration link and the Author Series website in the chat for those who want to learn more. To wrap up our community updates, there are several events coming up in April to keep on your radar. First, the Research Data Access and Preservation, or RDAP, Summit is happening April 13th through 16th, with specialized workshops kicking off on April 13th. There are also two major celebrations for the library and archives community. We have National Library Week, which runs the 19th through 25th, and Preservation Week, which overlaps that from the 20th through 24th. And finally, for those in the Austin area, the Austin Archives Bazaar will be held on Sunday, April 26th. And we'll have links to all of those events in chat so you can learn more. Next, here are the upcoming meetings and events happening at TDL. These meetings and events are free and open to anyone, and you're always welcome to invite your campus partners and non-TDL member colleagues in your network to join us. So first up, we have the DSpace Users Group on March 23rd at 3 p.m. We have the Web Archiving Open Chat on March 25th at 2 p.m. The GIS Interest Group on March 27th at 2 p.m. And then in April, we have the Open Access Interest Group meeting on April 1st at 2 p.m. OJS Users Group meeting on April 2nd at 10 a.m. and the OER Users Group meeting on April 8th at 3 p.m. And we have all of our events for the TDL calendar listed in the link in chat. So you can check out the latest TDL announcements for upcoming meetings, events, and programs on our social media channels and in our bi-monthly email newsletter and announcement listserv. We'll share the link to our Get Involved page and chat where you can connect with us at TDL and see all of our platforms. And that's where you can find us. Next, we want to help share the amazing work happening at your institutions, whether it's our bi-monthly newsletter, the TDL blog, this forum, or on our social media channels. Please use our content ideal submission form to send us your updates. We're happy to amplify your posts on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. And you can use the TDL content ideal submission form to get started, and we'll have that in chat. And that is it for our community updates. And I'll hand things back over to Christy. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Kiera, and thanks, Courtney, for all the updates. A lot of great stuff going on. We do have time for questions. If anybody has a question, you can raise your hand and ask it or put it in chat. We'll be happy to address it. And I'll remind everyone about our um, anonymous suggestion box if you'd like to provide feedback or ask a question that we can address in a future forum. You can do it that way, and we'd be happy to receive those. I do want to put in an extra plug for our Inside Books project book drive, which we're doing for the second time at TCDL this year. As Kira mentioned, the rules have changed at the state government level about what kinds of books they can send to incarcerated folks. And so that puts some limitations on what kinds of books we can accept to pass along to Inside Books Project. Um, they have to be new in new condition and paperback. So that may mean you can't bring as many books, but I encourage you to still think about bringing a book or two to donate for that book drive or to donate financially to the organization because they're going to need donations more than ever with these new rules in place. Thank you, Lauren, for that link. To the Inside Books Project website. They do have um, a lot of ideas for what types of books. They also have I think they used to at least have a Amazon wish list or a book wish list, specific book wish list that of requests that people have made. All right. Well, one final uh, call for questions, announcements, comments. Okay. Not seeing any. We will wrap things up there. Thank you again for attending, and we will conclude the TDL forum. Um, we will see you next time in April when we do this all over again or at our various user group and member group meetings over the next month. Hope everybody has a great March. And Courtney and I will stick around for a little while if anybody wants to stick around with us. Bye, everybody.